Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we're looking at the world's fastest half mile, the Bristol Motor Speedway, so strap in and let's get to it. Things happen really fast here around Bristol, so I'm going to try to keep up with this video because it's going to go by in a hurry. There's definitely a lot to discuss real quick, so I'm going to try to break everything down for you. First things first, this whole run was done in 5th gear. I recommend doing everything in 5th gear. 4th gear, even if you're running the bottom, you're chipping around the start-finish line. And the difference between 4th and 5th gear isn't very much at all. So I think 5th gear is very beneficial. So I think you'll want to run that throughout the race. With traffic, tire wear, and everything, if the pace really drops, then 4th gear might be an option later in the run, but you're going to want to be very careful with your throttle inputs because it'll be really easy to spin the rear tires. Real quick for qualifying, I thought the top was going to be a lot faster. To my surprise, I'm not really sure if it's the track, the tire, or what the deal is, but the bottom has a significant amount of grip compared to what it used to, or at least compared to what I remember it being. The top used to be really good. The top is still very good, and I think you're still going to migrate up there, but the bottom, at least early on, is much faster. I still think it's going to be the best way to save tires because you really got to manage your inputs. I'm trying to wait. I know there's some corners where I feel like I get full throttle and I feel like it's a little too soon, but I'm trying to get the car to rotate. But for the most part, whether you're running the top or the bottom, try your best to be as smooth on the accelerator as you can getting up to full speed, or full throttle, sorry. Because if you get it full throttle too soon and you have a lot of wheel input, you're going to snap loose on exit, as you saw in my lap 2. Got into the throttle too soon, had a lot of wheel, got a little loose off 2, had a bit of a moment, and had to correct it. Speaking of lines, later in this video you're going to see I try to run the middle. Middle, not very good. Think you're going to want to commit to the top or the bottom. Used to be able to enter middle and exit low and get a really good run, especially if you were trying to pass somebody up top. I'll be honest, with how much grip the bottom has, if you are going to try to pass somebody who's running the top, commit to the bottom. The amount of grip that's down there, trust me, commit to the bottom. Just be smooth on your inputs. Try not to get full throttle so you're on the straightaway so you can keep the car under you. Yeah, as you can see right here, this lap we tried to run the middle on both ends and pull it down. Tried to run the middle all the way around. Just nowhere near the amount of drive off, and it definitely feels a little more tight, especially compared to the bottom or the top, which is crazy because the bottom's such a tighter corner when you're down there. You got a little more wheel input, but it turns so much better. A few tricks to get around here that I've learned over the years. My feeling around Bristol, again, I don't use brake markers, right? More so just the sound of the engine and everything else. When I get to about the rubber there, it's usually a good lifting point for me. The RPMs are singing pretty good at that time, but I want to feel like I'm floating the car in. Okay, it's a different feel. There's a lot of banking here. The banking is going to help keep you in the corner. If you really overdrive and you're trying to run the top, yeah, you're going to hit the wall. But I almost want to feel like I'm floating the right front to where I want it to be. Okay, it's a weird analogy, but it's worked so well at Bristol, and I see a lot of guys doing it. Yes, you're still attacking the corner, okay, but you're trying to float the car. You're not using a ton of brake. Okay, we're going to go back a handful of laps of the in-car for you guys so I can try to talk and reference things. And then the last couple laps I'll do quiet because I'm going to run different lanes for you guys. When you're going into the corners here at Bristol, you're trying to attack, but you're trying to use as little brake as possible, okay? So that's where the floaty feeling comes in. The nose is going to feel like it's floating. It's still going to plant and grip up, okay? But you're not, how do I say this? If you're going to run the top, for example, you're not going to enter on the wall and run the top, okay? You're going to enter on a almost like you're running a diamond line through the corner where you enter a little lower, maybe crossing the C, and let the car float up to the wall where the apex is. Then it's going to turn off of that and point itself down the straightaway. Whereas the bottom, I'm trying to float the car in to where I get right on the apron and grip it all the way around. Okay. As you can see with the inputs, very little brake, trying to be smooth on the throttle, get full throttle when it grips up and is comfortable. There's a lot of things that go on to making good lap times at Bristol. We'll go quiet for a couple laps here. Okay, finally got a chance to slow this video down. Um, Couple things that I want to go over real quick. When it comes to racing at Bristol, okay, if you ever feel like you are on the edge of being out of control, back it down. It's not going to benefit you to push the car that hard. Okay, you're just going to melt your tires, and it only, especially in this car, it only takes one time for you to have to put a little extra wheel in to stay off of somebody or something, and it's going to snap out from under you. Okay, Bristol is a racetrack where if you are smooth and consistent, you are going to be rewarded. Things happen fast. I know there's a lot of people that forget which corner they're going to. Don't forget, 3 and 4 is a much tighter corner than 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is more sweeping, where 3 and 4, the exit of 4 really pinches off. Okay, it's crazy to say, but try your best to remember what corner you're setting up for, because if you try to run 3 and 4 like you're running 1 and 2, you're going to hit that wall off of 4 very quickly. Okay, think long run. If you're running the bottom is very competitive. Okay, in years past, it used to be get to the top so that you can save your spot in line. The bottom is a lot more competitive this year, or at least this time around, than I think it's ever been before. Just be patient. Okay, save your tires, be smooth with your inputs. You're not trying to set hot laps here. You've got to think long run. If you're trying to run hot laps for the first 20 laps, by lap 40 of a run, you're got a one-way ticket to the back. Okay, and that doesn't matter if you're running the top or the bottom. You can run the top and hold people off, but if their tires are that much better, they're going to pass you regardless. Okay, so take care of your tires, be smooth with your inputs, and just take what the car gives you. Okay, the last thing, it is a single pit road. You can see me getting off the racetrack here in the middle of 3 and 4 because I'm done this run. But if you do have to pit for whatever reason, you're pitting off of turn 2 and you're coming all the way around the racetrack. All right, guys, I think that just about covers it. I did up the volume a little bit, so please let me know if the volume is good. I know there's a few people that have been saying I was a little quiet. If this is better, just let me know in the comments so I can change it. I went up a whole decimal point. I used to be minus 6.5, now I'm minus 5.5. If I got to go back, I can do that just to make it comfortable for you guys. As always, if you find that this video is helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave a comment down below and I will get to them throughout the week. I always check them. And last but not least, if you are not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can see these videos every Monday when they're posted to the Maconi YouTube page. Alright guys, best of luck this week and we'll see you out on the track.